It is the clash of the Titans.
The pre-race hype was all about the big guns.
Yeah, Andre Greipel, Mark Cavendish, 15 of the top sprinters in the world.
But from the outset, the Tour had delivered nothing but surprises.
Goss is clear and Greipel is on his wheel. Oh, somebody's gone down in the middle. They've all gone over the top of him. Michael Matthews in his first Pro Tour event, and there's been a crash, and that's Thomas who's gone down. Cameron Meyer gets the victory, and Ben Swift is holding on.
Now we head to the penultimate stage, a stage which history says decides the Tour Down Under.
Well, they're all fighting back. The Oka jersey, you can just see a little bit further back down the line there, and he knows he's got to try and get himself up there in the sprint again this afternoon if he wants to keep his advantage ahead of Matty Goss.
There's no shortage of work here still coming from Port, and the boys now are trying to trap everybody. What Garmin would like to see would be a rider get away that doesn't matter to pinch the 10-second time bonus. That would be a great result for them.
A lot of riders bending themselves over their bikes here. This is a real furious run down towards the finish line. Not a lot of riders left. This time Wollonga Hill has really spat the sprinters out of the back, and I'm hearing that the group with Greipel and Davis is still at around about 30 seconds.
Only 20 survive on that second lap around the hill, and they've all come together here now, and the others are flat out looking in the distance there. I don't think anybody's going to upset this 20 either as we run down towards the finish. This is the move. Simon Gerrans now driving. He knows he's got something going here now. He also can sprint finish.
Well, Gerrans is looking to make sure he can consolidate on the advantage and the split that these riders have forced off the front end of the race here this afternoon, which is why they will continue to work hard right the way up to the finish. If they want to conserve their energy, they all need to work together in this. They don't want too many passengers.
There is a big group at round about 20 seconds. I just saw them there. The fact that Gerrans is working like this now means that Ben Swift must be in this group, because Ben Swift is their man. He's looking for 18 seconds to take over the Tour lead. He packs the sprint finish as well.
It's going to be an incredible sprint finish, Phil, because we've got in there as well Goss. He can sprint. If Ben Swift is in there, that could be pretty rapid. And I tell you what, Cam Meyer, the way he sprinted yesterday, he won't be far.
Been a crash on the two gone down. And that was just a fall of the rider on his own as he made the corner. It's Jack Bobridge, I think.
Yeah, it's Bobridge went down there with a rider from Movistar, and I don't know how he went down there at all.
Well, that was very bad luck. Jack wasn't touched by anybody. He's just lost his front wheel or maybe dust on the road. But Bobridge needs to get a bike off. That's knocked him out. Time is counting because he was inside 5, but not inside 3 to go. So he's got a race for time. It's counting away from him.
The other rider who went down there from Movistar was David Lopez. He looked rather smartened by that one, and he's taking a long time to get himself back up. The Oka jersey's there, right in the middle. These attacks will continue to go. Gerrans is on the front. And there's the Movistar rider, and
that's a shame. No, I think he fell on his shoulder there.
Yep, he doesn't look too good at all.
Well, we're inside 3K to go for the leaders now, and that's when everybody who fell with the group will get the same time, but it's all too late, so maybe we can show you that again here. It was Bobridge who went, and there was nobody near him. I guess we can't at the moment as we go back to the riders. That's disrupted the field as well and caused a little bit of confusion. That field is now down to 18.
Well, they're still prepared to work at the front, and that would be a loss of firepower with Jack Bobridge, and he would have been thinking about a victory this afternoon because he'd had a fairly easy ride when he was with that trio of riders off the front end of the main field.
Well, the ups and downs of an Australian champion there. Bobridge now is losing real time against his field and will drop away from a podium place. As we look down the field here, there is the Oka jersey of Cam Meyer. It's all still looking very, very good for him. He's just got to be careful. He would do well to lock onto the wheel of either Michael Matthews or Matthew Goss, because they're the right. Is he on Goss's wheel? He's on Goss's wheel. He's found Goss's wheel, number 23. He's the man he must follow to the line today, and if he can, beat him.
And Ben Swift was right in there as well, Phil. So this is going to be a sprint of all of the men in the top 5 overall. The only man missing from the top 5, in fact, is Andre Greipel. And Greipel, at the moment, is around about 30 seconds behind. And I don't think he's going to see the front end of this bike race again because everybody has thrown caution to the wind.
So now it's all down to hard work being done here by Simon Gerrans on behalf of the team. Trying to set it up here for Ben Swift. There's been nobody, all the professionals have been very unselfish trying to help each other. Matthew Goss, though, is the rider who they will all fear in the sprint finish with a 10-second bonus. And Goss is only 12 seconds off the overall lead. can't take it with the win bonus. Just to remind you, in international cycling, if all the riders finish in a big group, they are given the same time. So only the bonuses will be advantage now for the riders at the front. And there's the little makeup of this group here, and there are 17 of them since we lost a couple out on course, 18 of them rather, we lost a couple out on course. But the men that matter still seem to be here. Michael Matthews very much here, Robbie Hunter, the South African sprinter, Ben Swift, the big name, and Rojas, who always gets up in the sprint finish at Wollonga. He knows it well, and he's been right in amongst it on a number of occasions. And Rojas himself got the win, got second rather, to Alan Davis in 2008, I seem to remember. So as the race continues towards the line, it is anybody's guess. This is good news, I believe, in the end for Cameron Meyer. He's come over the mountains despite his long escape yesterday. He knows if he finishes in the same time, whoever wins cannot take his ochre jersey tonight. He goes to the finish in Adelaide tomorrow wearing that leader's jersey. But he'll want to go better than that. He'll want to take part. He'll want to try and get a couple of seconds bonus if he can. First three get the bonus. Simon Guerin sets the pace. Look for some help here. Hayden Rulson gives him a little bit of help now. There's so many riders now don't want to help because they're planning the finish with the sprint. And if they slow down, expect Andre Greipel to get back into the picture in that group, which is only just behind and closing. And Bobridge himself is chasing now, alone. The view from the helicopter, awkward sprint to judge because the wind is blowing from the right of our picture here, which means you've got to make your move from the left. There's the splits behind you. You see what I mean? The chase is closing right in now. This is putting Andre Greipel back in the picture for the big race tomorrow in Adelaide. It is still anybody's guess here, and all of the work is being left to Simon Gerrans and Hayden Rolson. Bobridge must be in that second group now. He's got his bike change, he got back on, so he's in the second group, which may yet bring him back in to get the same time as these riders in the front group. Lady Luck beginning to smile on him again, perhaps, because that back group is coming very, very quickly, and if they don't realise it, the back group will move those sprinters up to the front and spoil the day for everyone, but not for Cameron Meyer. He knows now if they finish together, he can't lose his lead tonight, whoever wins. And his worst scenario would be Matthew Goss winning. I don't think there's much more left in Simon Gerrans. He's really done well. He started as a race favourite and he's turning out now to be a real workhorse for Ben Swift. There's the group of 18 riders who led and came together over the top of the old Wollonga Hill. There's disarray at the front, and this is an attack here going now. It may be Gorka Izagir who's made the move for Euskadi. Just the sort of cheeky move he would do as he approaches the finish. He doesn't pack the sprint of the others. The others are having to reorganise themselves now. It is Gorka Izagir who's done the move. And that's a good move too, because he's been a most aggressive rider since the Cancer Classic we had in Adelaide last Sunday. He was in the move that was started by him there, and he's been in the moves a number of times this last few days of racing. So he's got good legs to go back to Spain with. And that group cannot be far behind. They're almost on, if they are not on, to the back of this group. And sprinters, when they see the finish, there's still a gap. There's still a gap. But if sprinters see the finish here, oh, camera's got lost now. Back in a moment, I guess. As he's had to get out the way of the shot of the approaching peloton. And there you can see now Izagir out in front. That really is a strong show at the point when the riders are riding to their limits. He's pedalled off the front. Is this going to be a big shock decision? Be a terrific result for Cameron Meyer if he makes it. But Gorka Izagir, I have to say, Euskadi deserve it. But once the sprinters start, and Matthews is coming down the middle, Goss is trying to come through on the inside, Goss on the left, and Goss, it'll have to go. Well, I don't know which one got that, but the Movistar rider looks as though he's got it, and if he has, that will be victory for Ventoso. And he's a superb sprinter, and he timed it to perfection. And I think Goss was third rather than second. So that was a great result for Cameron Meyer, who now takes his ochre jersey onwards to Adelaide tomorrow, and the 23-year-old's dream continues. Well, there's the congratulations for Ventoso. Everybody knows how well this rider can sprint, and he timed that one, so I'm a bit surprised he survived to use that sprint, I have to say. And Goss just didn't have it at the end because of all the work being done out on course. That's Ventoso's first win of the year. The last one was Paris-Brussels, one of the great classic races of the world, in September a year ago. And this is a good result for the team too, because they won a stage of the Tour of St. Louis down in Argentina yesterday. So this new team on the block have won stages of 2 major races in as many days. So we've had a terrific ride today, and it just shows you they all played the cards, and Cameron Meyer never panicked once, did he? He was always in the right place at the right time. Bobridge did his job and then fell off, unfortunately. These are the groups coming in. There'll be bigger time gaps now for these boys. But overall, if Goss, and Goss got a small bonus, but I think it's probably 2 seconds rather than 4, which means now Goss will have moved equal with Lawrence Ten Dam overall. And I'm assuming Ten Dam was in that group, because leading the sprint down there at the moment is Michael Matthews. We're looking at the rerun, so there's no doubt that Goss was third there. That's a big result. Matthews gets the bonus too, so Matthews will get a 4-second bonus, which brings him up on the overall classification now to 14 seconds, and he will sit 4th overall in the race tonight. He's climbed all the way.
The honours go to Francisco Ventoso, 28 years of age, from Movistar. Michael Matthews and Matthew Goss rounding off the top 3. And you've got a whole stack of riders there. Rojas Roberts, a good ride from the Australian, who's looking for a contract in 2011. Robbie Hunter, well, you've got some really good names. Biel Cadre, who's ridden so well during the course of the week, the Frenchman, apart from maybe a calculation, minor calculation stuff up yesterday, if I can use that term. Ballan's in there, Hermans is in there, Ben Swift also. Ben Swift, I'm sure he was eyeing off possibly leading this race, the way Guerin's standings as they go into the final day. Cameron Meyer has an 8-second advantage over Matthew Goss. It's Australia 1-2 with Lauren Ten Dam 10 seconds down, looking for a podium place on the streets of Adelaide on Sunday. Michael Matthews is still in this race with a shot, 12 seconds, and if he can pick up some time bonuses in the street race through Adelaide tomorrow, well, of course, he could also find himself on the podium.
Goss is clear and Greipel is on his rear. Robbie McEwen's made a run on the left. Swift in the lead here. The Swift pushes on for the line. This is Michael Matthews in his first Pro Tour event. Fighting Cav, well, that man will never give up from the Isle of Man. Cameron Meyer, at 23 years of age, is another of the young bloods of Australia.